I got beaten. It was Clinton that beat me. Beat me.
Oh, yeah, because you were in the winners' party, yeah.
Yeah. He beat me the other night.
I remember the match. Yeah. No, it was tough on. I was getting a place in
frame, Mark Boyle to break. Time running. Ball spotted.
Good afternoon and welcome to the losers round 2 in a heavyweight clash between Marc Farnsworth and Marc Boyle. Marc's won the lag and he's broke off and he's playing reds.
Nice to see that he's remembered to nominate. Well, at this for this frame at least.
Having said that, there's still 7 reds on the table. I think it may be still open.
No, he's potted a yellow off the break.
And nominated reds.
Nominated reds, yeah.
Ah, okay. I thought
he still has to nominate.
I thought he had to pot a red in order to nominate them because it was 7.
No,
left.
he nominates the reds, but he has to pot one to be on them.
So he's not on reds.
No, he's not. He still nominated the reds though, which in the last event was a bit of a downfall for him. I think in both the matches he lost, he forgot to nominate at sort of important times.
So just to keep the viewers right and keep myself right, if he has 7 reds left and he nominates reds,
and
that means he can't go yellows, or he can still go yellows
off the break. If he pots a red and he nominates yellows, he has to pot a yellow to be on them.
Okay.
But if he misses the yellow, then it's open table. But if he was to pot a red and nominate red, he's on the reds no matter what.
Okay. Well, regardless of that, Marc's taking the reds and he's got a good chance here to take the first frame, depending on the angle he leaves himself from this plant.
So Marc looking to avoid these 2 yellows here to get onto the red next to them, and he's played that quite nicely. Yeah, brilliant shot.
Couldn't have placed that any better with his hand. It's perfect to come down the table for a choice of 2 reds. I think he'll be looking to drop on the red, just shy of the black. I don't think it matters what way he goes here.
No, as long as he lands anywhere in that big area, like you say, he's going to be on either. I mean, he's going to play the one in the middle now.
Yep. I think the black's available to the right centre.
So that'll be red and the black both in the bottom right now. Marc kind of on a free life at the moment, having come back against Max Nosko this morning. But how often in tournaments do you see when someone should get beat and then they go on to go deep and even win it?
It's a good finish by Marc. Takes the opening frame here.
Yeah, a bit of a poor first shot there from Marc Boyle, for his standard anyway, to leave Marc that red.
think winning the first frame is very important to settle the early nerves. Not that these two players might be feeling any nerves, but I think Marc Farnsworth will be the most settled of the two players having won that frame.
Farnsworth definitely the advantage on the rules side of things. I mean, Mark Boyle, I don't think do you know Mark very well?
Yeah, I know Marc fairly well. I don't think he's very familiar with the rules.
No, I mean Mark before the split in pool, so to speak, he was very high up on the tour when it used to be world rules. He was still one of the best players then. So
Marc Farnsworth.
Yeah. So definitely, yeah. The rules side of things, the advantage goes to Farnsworth. Not that you're going to see many tactical frames with this shark rack. I just think every frame, you just get a good split. Even on the outer tables, you will not see many tactical frames at all because the ball's just everywhere. Plus the standard, the rules don't even matter.
Dry break for Marc Farnsworth presents Mark Boyle with an early opportunity here in the second frame. He'll be looking to right the wrongs of the first frame.
Doesn't look like he can get through to a red, but with the yellows, he's got the one next to the reds in the top left. But he's electing to take the yellows. Let's see how he goes about getting onto that yellow in the top.
I don't think if he was to play the white up into that area and try to disturb him, I don't think there's any danger that he'll pot one of Marc's reds. So I think he's got a free shot to, if he gains an angle, to go into them. Possibly off the yellow in the centre of the table, he could play on that now, leave it low. And try to bring that yellow out.
Potentially you could drop and try and leave a plant. I don't think you're not leaving much room sort of for error. He's but he looks quite nice there.
Yeah, I think he's coming round to look. Yep.
Thing is, if he hits sort of the yellow and the red kind of together, right in the gap, he'll sort of push the yellow down towards the cushion so it goes underneath the two reds, and he possibly could be on the other one.
The key here is just to leave the. He's played a nice shot there.
Perfect, great shot. So now it's just all about picking what angle he wants on this on the yellow that he's just disturbed.
About 2 or 3 feet on the right hand side of the table to place the white.
Yeah.
Wants to avoid leaving it on the cushion though. He'd like to have his hand on the table a little bit.
Possibly a little more angle than he'd liked.
Can he avoid the red just coming off the top cushion here?
You can, but if you catch it, it's going away from the other yellow, and possibly that red's next to the middle pocket as a lumen there. Even if he just cannons this red. Oh, he's played the other side, but he's got away with it.
Sigh of relief, and he's put his hand up there, recognising he's had a bit of fortune, but you need a bit of fortune in this field.
Of course, yeah.
So this is the key shot to the frame for Mark Boyle.
You don't expect him to miss anything, to be fair. Cues the ball lovely. Look at that.
Yeah. So an elementary black, and we'll be level here. there's a few people starting to gather round. Pretty sure this match has generated a lot of interest.
Possibly a little bit of needle between the two because of the whole Facebook and the money match scene. You don't see these two sort of, well, definitely Mark Boyle, he doesn't say too much, but more his main backer getting involved, trying to sort a game, but it hasn't happened yet. Maybe one for the future. I think the game that everybody wants to see, and is probably the most likely if they can come to some kind of agreement, would be Farnsworth against Cousins.
Just to touch on the scores in the losers rounds, Josh Kane leading Neil Wren 7-4. Sam Butcher yet to start with Alex Bailey. Eddie Barker leading Carol Morris 2-0. Ollie Bell trailing 1-0 to Jake Dillanulov. Adam Marlowe and Phil Naylor locked at 1 each.
Third frame. Boyle to break.
All the games are
Time running.
One of your
nearly
fellow
steady.
countrymen, Gillespie, 6-5.
Yeah, he was leading, I think, 4-0 at one point there, so it's been pegged back a little. Well, Mark Boyle seems to have changed his break to the middle.
Yeah, he's normally a cut breaker, isn't he?
Yeah, a very effective cut breaker
Yeah.
at that. I don't know how he manages to generate the pace without the white ball going off the table.
Yeah.
I've tried it.
The exact reason I don't cut break. Oh, it's nominated again. So he's tried to disturb that red, but not got into the cue ball enough, hit the yellow.
Do you think a lot to take this red down the rail?
I think so. I think they play big. I think they play big down the rail. As long as you get close and it's at the right pace, I think it goes in. But also looking at the screen, I don't think he's got another shot. Maybe a double. Or can he get? Oh, he can get through. My apologies.
I think he's left the gap here. Can you see the red beside the black? I don't think that's the shot anyway. I think that red may be his last ball.
Looks tight by that picture. Side.
I think he can, and he would leave himself on the red on the right hand cushion, but I also think it'd be the wrong shot.
So he's potting this one to probably leave the angle to then move the red. Ideally, you'd want to hit the cushion just before the red, sort of just flick it over the middle. It's gone straight into it. Which, okay, he's on it, but it's no means easy.
It's the danger with cannon into balls. You always rely on a little bit of luck. I think Mark's just been shy of a bit there.
Personally, I think I'd have played it when he tried to move it originally, just down the cushion. Like I say, if you get close and it's the right pace, they go in pretty easy.
And if it went in, he had a red in the opposite centre.
Oh yeah, they were all sitting there for him then.
It was really just the pot. But still has a half chance at this red. I think if he plays it plain ball, the white will be coming off the left-hand side cushion and maybe cannoning into the black, depending on pace.
He might decide to go twice across for the red below the black. No, he's missed it. He played to the other red. So it's a chance gone begging, and gives Farnsworth an opportunity. just asked the referee, should I say, to remove the shark rack.
Delicate touch required.
Yeah. One of the easier ones, I'd say, that one, only having to move one ball.
That's the thing with the shark rack. Although it does promote a good break, it can be a bit footery to get it off the table.
In my opinion, you can't use it in any tournament where you haven't got a referee, unless you're really going to trust the players to do it. Then you've got to have ball markers, and because it's not ideal to leave it on the table. I mean, I played Craig Ward yesterday, and he just left it on, and he was playing balls. He was over the shark rack, and it was moving the shark rack as he played them. I'm thinking, if you know, only just if it deviates just a little bit, you're gonna miss a pot. If I won't play anything over it, I'll get it taken off.
I personally elect just to use the triangle. I think.
Yeah.
I think if you cue the break nicely, at the end of the day, it will always boil down to a bit of luck, whether you get a ball or not.
Of course, yeah. It's just the consistency. You're going to have the same rack every single time with these, and you won't get a bad split. I mean, even when you rack with a triangle, and you think that you've got every ball touching, every now and again you'll just get a break where the balls just don't seem to separate. But with this, you don't get that at all. Always short. This yellow goes, but he hasn't got the full pocket. Just look like screwing the white across the face. That's a great shot.
I have to say that's a bit careless from Mark there.
The shot before, yeah, I agree. You know, he wanted to be right on the cushion.
Because we're so used to seeing these guys playing pinpoint position and potting everything, it's a bit of a shock when they run out of position and start to struggle just like us.
I'm not sure if Farnsworth's 100% this weekend. I see his status after his first round loss to Jack Whelan, and he said that he just didn't feel very comfortable. I'm not sure if whatever problems he had in that match are still kind of with him. But obviously, if he can get anywhere near his top game, he's going to be, even in the loser's side, he's going to be a threat to win the tournament.
He's called an extension here. He knows the importance of this shot regarding this frame.
Looks close.
Oh,
great shot.
What a shot.
How much of the pocket has he got here? That obviously goes. Great shot.
That's a great finish from Marc Farnsworth.
That's why he's one of the best.
Yep.
Straight in the middle.
That's the thing with the top players. You can never foresee another chance at the table, even when they seem to have ran out of position. You always imagine they're going to pull out something.
Yeah.
And normally they do.
It's a right kick in the teeth for Eddie, because sort of Mark Boyle sitting there thinking, well, he's messed these up. I might be getting back to the table, and then right in the pocket where he sat, he just sees the yellow go straight in the middle of it.
He's experienced enough to know that things like that can happen. He's played in high-profile matches against
Of course.
high-profile players, so I don't think he'll be too phased, although he is trailing 2-1, and you wouldn't want Marc Farnsworth to get a good break here and get another frame.
No, first to 8, obviously in the loser's side, opposed to the 11 frames you need to win in the winner's side. It's a little bit shorter, but also long enough where if you do fall a few frames behind, there's plenty of time to come back. He's made a ball and another really nice split. I think he'll be taking the yellows here. And he has. I think he'll be taking this one over the bottom right first, but he might also play the one in the top right. Yeah, he's
Opting to develop this yellow, maybe.
Yeah, he's fine. So clear his work at the top now with these 3, and then navigate towards the bottom. The only reason why I thought he may have opted to take the one into the bottom right was just to clear the path for the one down the cushion.
It's slightly awkward down the bottom half of the table. That yellow doesn't pass the one over the pocket.
No, definitely not.
He'll have to mind his work when he comes to it.
10 seconds.
Marc again has called his extension in this frame. Just trying to work out his route around this finish. Plays with a very nice pace, Marc Farnsworth. He doesn't rush anything. At the same time, he's not a slow player. Methodical, and he's very, very good. What would you be playing here, Carol?
I'm not 100% sure where the black... I don't think the black goes past that red in the centre. I mean, really, do you play this one for the one closest to the hole in the bottom right to get onto the loose one, to then play the one down the rail last? Possibly with an angle just to go across underneath the black for the opposite middle. Yeah, just, I think, yeah. Or is he? Has that gone too far?
No, you can see
That's
that yellow.
fine, yeah. So yeah, I think that's the way he's going to go now. He'll just play this one, drop sort of into the middle, sort of just past the line, and then drop the one into the centre.
Sometimes these can be tricky little shots just with the nap of the cloth. If it deviates slightly, it makes a big difference in position.
Let's play towards the red.
Ah, he's good at well.
He looks perfect. So
Even if he leaves this straight, I think the black passes through the gap between the two reds on the left-hand side of the table.
what, into the corner?
Yes,
Yeah.
just see it on a screen there.
Yeah, that's what he's going to play.
Playing it this way, the white will be at distance, but he'll be confident enough in his cueing to deal with that.
Pinched a little bit. Just caught the jaw. So this black for a free frame to one lead.
A great camera angle there. We'll know before he does. Yeah, there we go. He cues the ball so solidly. He's really, really good to watch. Good technique.
I believe he used to be a snooker player years ago. Not 100% sure.
As was Marc Boyle.
Yeah. Quite a big frame for Marc Boyle. 2 frames behind at the minute. He wouldn't want to be falling through, not against someone of Marc Farnsworth's quality. He's made a ball. And yellows.
Yeah, at first glance I don't think that's too bad. You can
No, it depends on the first shot really. If he pots this and sort of just cannons into the one on the right hand side, I think he'll hold for the gap to play the yellow into top left to then split the other one.
Yep. It's all about getting the shot right, just to hold the white,
Yeah.
develop the other yellow.
No, I'm not quite. I don't like what he's done here. In 2 shots, he's just put himself in a lot of trouble, really. He's kind of chasing a finish now, when all of Marc's reds are in the open. Yeah, he's going nowhere. He's just going to have to just say, look, I'm not going to. He's just going to have to try and tie something up. Not enough. Marc can get through to this. I'm not sure if it goes, but he'll have the pocket.
Just short of pace.
There you go.
this is where I would say Marc Farnsworth has the advantage when it comes to frames like this.
Massively. I mean, black ball rules, you know, that's not, even though you're still in trouble in any sort of other frame, that's, you know, with that skill shot, that's not as much of an advantage, having a ball over the pocket. He's just looking to come thin off and just try and cover the red a little bit, but he doesn't really. Marc Farnsworth's kind of got this frame at his mercy now. He's just going to bump this one off. And they're all there for him next time if he wants to.
Do you think he can play the red if he gets close to the left-hand cushion? The one that's hanging over the pocket?
He could, but I think he's... that's quite a good shot. Unless it drops.
Oh, that's unbelievable. Wow.
Possibly, but you couldn't... I don't think you can screw straight back. It looks like it's slightly on the jaw. But he's got the reds just above the line, which he could just plant onto it if need be.
Yeah, I don't think there's any real need for Marc to be going for Marc Farnsworth to be going for a finish here. He's got all the time in the world if he needs it. It's a good double, but with the position of these two yellows, it's very hard to see a way for.
I'm not sure what Mark Boyle's trying to. Is he going to try and just cover this red up, or is he going to try and double this one back across? The thing is, with you don't really know what he's going to do. Being a black ball player.
If he was to get that pocket, the top right pocket covered, you could then maybe start to think about bringing the other yellow out, but
I don't think he'll get the opportunity.
oh, that's a good shot.
Farnsworth will just bump this straight back out. It's quite a clever shot because there's room underneath the yellow that Marc's just put over the top right for a ball to go underneath it, which is the ball that he's just placed up there. So even though Marc Boyle can get through to this yellow, there's no real advantage to knocking it out. Clever shot that from Farnsworth. No. So, 2 shots to Farnsworth here. I think he'll be going for the finish. As you can see from that camera angle, the red clearly passes. You know, if you flick in off the yellow, that just opens everything.
unfortunate there. Had that red dropped unexpectedly, Mark Boyle would have been back in the frame, but as it stands, Farnsworth still in a good position here. This is one of the very few fudgy frames I've seen on the stream table anyway.
Yeah, I've not played one myself. Not anything like this anyway.
Are you a World Rules player yourself, Carl?
Yeah, I am, yeah. Don't play any black ball at all.
What would you be looking to do here if you're in Marc Farnsworth's shoes?
I don't think he's attacking anymore. I think it's not worth the risk. I mean, he's still got his 2 visits. Well, he was. It's just added a few more minutes onto the frame because he's now boxed the red in.
How about digging up here, smashing the red in the middle of the table into the pack and hope for a bit of luck?
Are you a black ball player?
In true black ball style.
How did I know? I'll give you whatever odds you want on him doing that. Kind of ran out of time there, so I just had to play something.
If you're Mark Boyle here, what do you do? How do you gain some sort of a foothold in the frame?
It's still difficult because ideally he's going to want to eventually try and pot Mark's red, either leaving the white
there.
Can
he do it now?
No, because he's not really. He's gonna. That's not too bad. I think Mark can probably just brush off.
If he were to pot Mark's red over the pocket, surely that then asks the question of Farnsworth to, because the black's now tied up.
I think now that he's moved that yellow slightly up, I think that's very difficult to get that black out. Because obviously you can't go straight into it.
Yep.
Because you're going to plant straight into the yellow. And also with that yellow... Oh, he's now going to play the black out.
That's a clever shot.
Yeah. How does that? See, I don't even think it jaws out. Have a go. No, he's playing the other one, he's boxing in again. Oh, he's just conceded basically.
I think that was unintentional.
Of course it was, yeah.
Judging by his reaction.
Of course he didn't mean to do that. He just played to box it in. Tell in that frame he was kind of guessing some of the time of what to do, but we said at the start of the match that if any frames went like that would be in Farnsworth's favour.
So Marc Farnsworth increases his advantage over Mark Boyle, 4 frames to 1. Both players are having a chat about that frame.
It's like, yeah, Mark, I didn't know what to do, mate.
Judging by their conversation here, you can see there's mutual respect between 2 of the players. I think in contrast to what you see and hear on social media, it's,
I don't necessarily think it's between the two of them though.
Yep.
What we got here? Let me just check how my bet's getting on. Oh no. Latest scores on the screen there for everyone.
And also, if you're wanting to check out the draw, you can go to qscore.com. You're looking for the Strachan Cup. You get all the results and all the upcoming matches on there.
Frame number 6, Marc Farnsworth to break, leading 4 frames to 1. Time running.
Oh, that is unlucky.
So an opportunity now for Mark Boyle. Be taking the red balls.
You would have to say he has to take these out.
Yeah.
He'll be looking to do it at this visit, just to gain a bit of, try to start to gain a bit of momentum and getting back into this match.
So we'll be looking to clear these two on the back rail first at the top, and then I'd say the one just at the top of the line, as you see on the screen, that will clear the path for potentially the other, the red closest to that one, to the right hand side of the line into the centre. And everything's kind of dot to dot from there. It's all about sort of the next two shots, really. I think he's okay here, so he can just pop this one, maybe drift towards the back cushion, so he can play the one into the left. No, he elected to play into the yellow.
I think he can come off this side cushion, just below the yellow, and then drift past into the gap between the yellow and red.
Oh.
He's played that okay. It just needs to play a good positional shot here.
There's not much. He's gonna, he has to finish. He's looking at a gap. It's not a huge gap. Our screen might be a little bit deceptive. That looks a lot tighter than probably what it is. Nice, straight through. Yeah, there we go. So Mark Boyle claws one back, trails by 4 frames to 2.
7. Mark Boyle to break, trailing 4 frames to 2. Time running.
Big break from Boyle, but nothing down.
Open table.
I think that red that was the last one to be moving there has come up and presented Marc Farnsworth with an opportunity to bring the other red out.
Yeah, all the reds go here. Well, he's just got to just develop one at the top, but you know, he's got an automatic path into it. He shouldn't have too much trouble. That's not as he intended. I think he wanted to get into that a lot more and maybe come back the other side of that yellow so that he could play the red into the top left and screw into the to the red next to the yellow and push it towards the top right. But he's still okay. He's got this ball to the bottom left.
He's missed it.
That's by quite a way as well.
Mark Boyle perhaps unexpectedly coming to the table here. I'm sure.
I didn't think he'd be coming to the table there from that shot, that's for sure.
I'm sure he, like everyone else, expected Marc Farnsworth to get close to finishing that. Although, looking at the layout of these yellows, I don't think there's any way Mark will be going for a finish here.
No, you got to defend really. And he has.
He's played that nicely.
What are you getting yourself into again, Mark? Is that Mrs. Boyle in the crowd there and children?
He's just smiling over at me there, Mark. He shrugs his shoulders as if to say, here we go again. He's sitting thinking, have I played a good shot? Is it a bad shot? That's a good shot by Marc Farnsworth there. Difficult to judge them. A lot of the time the balls find their way into the pocket. So again, we have a rather tactical frame here between the two.
Mark potentially might drop him in here. Play the plant red onto the yellow. The red will sit next to the yellow on the back. There we go.
Now,
Mark's laughing. Mark Boyle's laughing.
Could Mark Boyle play a push shot here on the yellow?
You are allowed to push. The foul is if you double hit it.
Okay.
But the ref has to see it, or obviously you call it on yourself. It's a bad rule in my opinion. It should just be no push shots.
In my previous game there, in the first frame, I tried to pot a yellow. I was close to the cue ball and I pushed it, and I called a foul on myself. But
as long as you don't hit the ball twice, it's not a foul.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Looking now, it wasn't a foul. But Scott Gillespie come over and said, "Why did you give 2 shots away?"
Yeah.
Then? I didn't realise that you could do that.
No, it's a terrible rule. But it should, in my opinion, it should just be no push shots.
Well, Mark Boyle finds himself a little bit of a disadvantage here.
Yeah, he's a bit inexperienced with covering pockets, I think.
I think maybe 1 or 2 shots ago he should have played a double on the yellow and try to hang the bag again up the top.
He tried to hang the bag the last shot, and that's gone in. He's tried to get one across there.
Will Mark just take the bottom pocket here with the red?
Yeah, I think so.
Leave the white close to the other red.
Goes. Not right over the pocket. He was a bit worried about potting it, but that's fine. He's still a big favourite in this round.
Is there value in Farnsworth just potting Mark's yellow here? Or
there is, but he's got to be careful where he leaves the white.
would Boyle be trying to smash into them if he
yeah,
if he had to?
well, if he just drops on it, he probably leaves a foul snooker. I don't think he'll drop it in. I think he just knocks the red out.
And a foul snooker, can you describe a foul snooker?
You get the choice of moving the white or playing a free ball. He's elected to knock the black safe. That's fine.
So a foul snooker is if you can't see both sides of the ball.
Extreme edges, yeah. Which I don't think he'd have been able to get to the extreme edge of the left-hand side of that yellow that he's just played. So he couldn't have just dropped onto the yellow over the pocket and potted it. But yeah, he's right in trouble again. Right idea on that last shot, and if that red wouldn't have sat over the pocket, over the top left, it'd have been a lot better position. But Marc Farnsworth has still got that ball over the bottom left, which he's going to be wanting to move away from there before Mark Boyle can get his yellows into potable positions. Yeah, that's a good shot. You just see Farnsworth's knowledge of these rules just coming out with shots like that. If that yellow's dead near on the draw, that wouldn't surprise me to see him just play the deliberate foul here.
And pot the yellow over the pocket?
Yeah,
Three ball plan.
And leave the yellow on top of the red. To be honest, I think he might do it anyway if he can leave it in such a way where the yellow and red are a dead straight plant. So then he can't play into the yellow. Yeah, he's going to play it because then you can't get it out. Let's see, I don't know.
Can he draw this?
Possibly.
I think he can. Yeah, I definitely think he can draw this.
That's what I mean. He wanted to get that so that was a dead plant. So then Mark, well, he had no shot really.
I think Mark Boyle's yellow over the centre pocket. I think that will go. Oh Not now.
It's not the end of the world.
Yep, you can develop that.
Or that doubles as well.
He has a double, and I also think he has the angle to come off 3 cushions to come back into the centre of the table. We'll see what he fancies. Needs to slow down.
Watch the middle. That's in.
That's careless, you'd have to say, from Mark Boyle to overhit that shot.
In fact, I just pulled up. He was on the double, like I said.
He
I
had,
don't really see the value of playing the other one into the yellow, because you're knocking it. You have to hit it with some pace because you're knocking it towards the bottom corners, where obviously Mark has his reds.
he virtually had the whole table to
Yeah.
play on there, and he's overhit it by some margin.
No, yeah, there's no excuse for that. But
It's more of a shock than anything else to
Mm.
see a player of Mark's calibre do that. But anyway, it's presented the opportunity for Marc Farnsworth to go up 5-2 here.
how big was that pocket? He missed that.
I think he's still carrying his 2 shots here.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's went that way.
There's no risk, is there? He didn't. He didn't need to cut that red in.
That was a good shot.
Yeah,
He's
he's
chipped
fine.
that to perfection.
There we go. 5 frames to 2.
Mark Boyle's just popped out to the toilet, so we will resume commentary on his return.
Frame number 8, Marc Farnsworth to break, leading 5 frames to 2. Time running.
Just had a WhatsApp from some friends from Norwich. How are you, Stephen?
Good afternoon to any viewers joining us here. This is the second event in the Players Pool Series. This is the Strachan Cup. And you're watching Mark Boyle versus Marc Farnsworth in the second round of the losers section. Cued that nicely. He'll be looking to reduce his arrears here, Mark Boyle.
Got into that last one a little bit more than he liked. He's played obviously for the, well, in my opinion, the red next to the yellow, just to the. Oh, he's decelled, I think, on that one as well. I think he played for it again. The one to the right-hand side of the line, as you can see, which the line is there so that all the racks are straight. You align the shark rack up with the line, and then this. You're racking it in exactly the same place every time, and also no tilted racks.
Cue ball's just getting away from him a little bit, Mark, which is very unusual to see. Yeah. I think that shot manifests his frustration at not getting on the red down the bottom end of the table. I think he'll be very frustrated with not taking that chance.
Twice he tried to get on it, didn't he? And
that's given Marc Farnsworth this frame gift wrapped.
he's going to attack the only problem straight away.
Played that with a touch of top right hand side, just to swing the cue ball over closer to this yellow. He'll be looking to land on the one.
He looks a little bit straight. It's not that it's too much of a problem.
I think you can drop this on the side, take the weight off the table.
Yeah. No dramas from here.
Yep. Stun the cue ball back out of this yellow over the top right hand pocket. Stun it out maybe 5-6 inches.
Fine.
As easy as that for Marc Farnsworth. And this will be for 6-2. Just standing back up, making sure that he has the shot right in his head. Yeah, that's perfect.
Dead straight in the corner. 6-2 lead. Can you see any way back for Boyle?
It's
Not for
tough.
me.
It's tough to see a way back for Mark Boyle here. If it was black ball, there might be some sort of hope just regarding how the breaks start to go, but I think Farnsworth has too much experience at these rules to throw away this advantage.
I expect Mark Boyle will be relieved once this event is over and he can get back into his comfort zone. Obviously the next two events being black ball rules.
Having said that, the two finalists of the last event of both black ball players.
Yeah.
Liam Dunster and Scott Gillespie.
But like we said earlier, with these with the shark racks and how they've been splitting, the rules aren't really that often coming into play. So then it just comes down to just clearances.
I think that's good for the viewer as well, watching the games. I'm sure there's a few fans of the fudge frames, but for the most part, I think viewers would much prefer to be watching attack and pull and breaking finishes and
absolutely, yeah,
attacking shots. So Mark Boyle to break here. He's trailing 6-2. Be looking to get some sort of momentum going. Well,
good split.
Yeah. Yellows for you, Carl?
The
reds look good, but it's just depending
on
this.
It's just that first one, the one that he's closest to. Yeah. The thing is with the yellows, I'm not sure if that one goes past the red into the centre. And also he's then got the one to the right-hand side of the line, which only really, I'm not sure if that goes past the red. That's quite a clever shot, unless it...
If he's on
I like that shot.
If he's on this red to right centre, he's played a good shot here.
Yeah, very good.
It looks very tight.
He obviously noticed the problems with the yellows, and but that's good shot making from Mark. Very clever. Let's cue that one well. Not ideal. He's going to have to play this one into the bottom left now. But he's queuing over the yellow.
I think he just needs to control the pace. I think the path of the cue ball take him up the table to the two reds. Although he is looking at these two.
Which one? The outside one, but then you're going towards the yellow.
I think the first of the two.
No, he's going for the other one.
Oh, he could see it. Oh, well.
I don't understand. Surely that was always going to happen. He was always going to hit that ball. I don't see any way how you could have avoided it.
I think that shot just compounds Mark Boyle's afternoon. He struggled.
I'm not sure. Maybe it's just baffles me really. Player of Mark's calibre. I just thought that was a certainty to happen.
It always looks easier when you're sitting watching on the screen
yeah,
than it is at the table.
He obviously thought he could go to the left of that ball and swing round, but
well, Marc Farnsworth's in here, and he'll be looking to make this 7-2.
Yeah, that's a good shot. There it goes.
Just needs to mind his work here. These ones are trickier than they look. Don't think he can. Do you think he can play at any sort of pace to bring the weight back out? Because the angle he'll leave on the one in the middle isn't conducive to.
Looks quite tight, doesn't it? That wouldn't surprise me if he just drops it in and then maybe plays the yellow next to it
up the top
into the corner.
Yeah. Oh.
He decided to waste his shot. I don't mind that either.
Forgetting he had 2 visits. Yeah, that's perfect.
choices here.
Possibly this one, and then playing a little thin cut. Going back out to the centre of the table, yeah. He's
Perfect, perfect.
really well.
Great shot.
That takes the difficulty, if there was any, out of this clearance. So a simple yellow into the right centre and the black. Marc Farnsworth will go on the hill.
Great.
Latest scores on screen.
Simon Fitzsimmons 7-1 ahead of Christy Caulfield. That is,
Thought that might have been a little bit closer.
yeah, Christy's some player when he gets going.
Frame number 10, Marc Farnsworth to break, leading 7 frames to 2. Time running.
Mark will be looking to close this match out as soon as he can, really. Obviously, being in the loser section, he's going to have to play a lot of games today. He's going to want to try and conserve a bit of energy if possible. Long road to get back into the quarterfinals, but obviously more than capable.
Speaking of energy, I'm just looking at Mark Boyle, and he's looking a bit tired. I think he's just back from Turkey, so maybe the jet lag's catching up with him a little bit. I think there's yellow on the left-hand cushion. I think it will pass the red.
Looks like it from the overhead shot you've got on at the minute. So this is obviously going to present Farnsworth with a opportunity to frame and match.
Yeah, he's just called his extension here. He knows this is a great chance for frame and match, so he's...
Yeah, this is probably the only time of the frame he's really going to need to think about it. If you get this shot, it's going to just be plain sailing from here. He looks, yeah, he's got the right line. Good shot.
Right, so does this go clean, or do you think he's got to just glance off the red? Looks a lot tighter from this angle, but from the overhead, you'd think it goes.
I think this goes clean.
But they do play big, so even if you do sort of just catch the jaw a little bit at the right pace, that will go in. He has caught the ball.
Just having a look to see where he wants to leave the cue ball to come down for the black. He's limited in his options for where the black goes.
Now he can either try and get really close, or he could just kind of just go towards the centre of the table and just leave a half ball cut back into the bottom right. I think that's probably the best thing to do. At least you're going to have a shot on the black. But let's see how he's feeling. He might decide to screw straight all the way back. Yeah, he has. He'd like to have been closer and probably further over, but a shot at it all the same.
He's trusting his potting ability here.
Yeah.
And this black will see him into the next round.
And in it goes. Congratulations, Marc Farnsworth. Commiserations, Mark Boyle.
Nice handshake between the two players. Sharing a bit of a laugh and a joke with the referee.
From all of us English, thanks for coming. Safe trip back to Croatia or Sweden.
I don't know why that came out of my mouth. I meant to say frame and the match, and it just came out.
Hi and welcome back. I'm joined by Marc Farnsworth off the back of a great win against Mark Boyle. But Mark, before we touch on that, you already played a game at 9 o'clock this morning against Max Nosko. That looked to have some entertainment around it. Talk us through that one first.
Max played really well at the beginning of the match. I was horrendous. He thoroughly deserved to be 7-3 up. I nicked a couple back to get back to 7-5, and then he just couldn't get over the line. He was by far the better player in the match. I just tried to dig in, and I was getting chances, and I kept making a mess of them. And fortunate enough, Max was making a mess of them as well. So it ended up nail biting towards the end, but the standard wasn't great. But just to get over the line was good.
I mean, he's presented you with a gift at the end, and he's popped off the table and off the break, and left you with a pretty easy clearance.
Yeah, that's it there. To be honest, I was really disappointed after my performance yesterday. Jack played well and deserved to beat us, and I was being a bit of a huff with myself after that. So this morning, I've been playing all right in practice, but I haven't been playing a lot of matches and all the rest. Probably haven't been putting in as much time as I should have been. And then you get found out when you're playing against good players.
Yeah.
The clock's found us out a little bit. I've been struggling with the white, but I've missed so many pots which I normally wouldn't. But at the end of the day, it's nobody else's fault except my own. So just got to deal with it.
I saw you put a post up yesterday, just saying that you weren't able to settle on the table, settle on the cloth, the banks of the cushions, etc. But you seem to have settled in that game. Are you finally sort of warming into the tournament?
I think the rules crippled Mark a little bit there. I know he's been away for a couple of weeks holiday before he came here, and obviously the world rules, I don't even think he knows some of the rules. You know, I played them for years, like when I was a bit younger, and still, especially on the clock, things just go out of your mind. You don't know what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. But I've got a massive advantage at the rules, obviously against Mark. You know, it's one of those things. I'm pleased to get the win. I felt a little bit more comfortable in that match. I was getting, once I got the lead, you relax a little bit more. You know, so it's just important to keep winning. Yeah,
I think for me, I said it on commentary before. One of the features of your game, you're one of the most clinical players when you're in amongst the balls, and that was recognisable in the last few frames there.
Except for this weekend.
Yeah, but I mean, even the last couple of frames against Mark, you know, a couple of clinical finishes that you took out.
Yeah, I always play quite attacking, and I'm like on a finish. I'm always like pretty. That's one of my strong parts of my game. My positional play and cue ball control, and I know if I leave my hand on the table, I'll be confident potting most balls. But with the white ball being a little bit erratic this weekend, it sort of puts you on the back foot, and then you start second guessing everything you're doing before you know it. I'm queuing across balls, I'm snatching balls, I'm jumping off shots, and just hard to.
I think Sam Bircher next.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm not sure if that game's finished yet, but I think Sam was leading. So
I played Sam at the last event, cracking little player. I actually came down to practice with Gareth last year on the Chinese team, and there was an amateur event on. I think he got through to the final or something. That's the first time I'd seen him play, and I was really impressed with him. Like, so he's a great player for now and for the future.
Yeah. Thanks for your time, Mark. Much appreciated.
Cheers.
So Marc Farnsworth, he's still a danger in this tournament, ever present, and he's rocking through that losing section. We'll be back with another game in. I think it's due to come on at 2 o'clock. Not sure who's on yet, but there'll be an announcement through the players page, and we'll see you very shortly.
Cheers.
Thanks, man. Cheers, man.